Welcome to another episode of Monday with the Mayor. I am actually here at a very special place today. We are at City Hall with City of Alpena Mayor Matt Willigora. Thank you for being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I kind of wanted to go behind the scenes and talk about your role as mayor. I guess first kind of tell us how you got involved in the political process here in Alpena.
Pretty much just needing something new, and I was always interested in local government, so I didn't really have any particular reason or cause. I just started going to city council meetings. I found it really interesting, and then I basically did some minor research on how to run for office, which is a relatively simple process. And then I got elected, and here I am 9 years later.
9 years, wow, awesome. So a lot of people may think that you are responsible for A, B, and C, but yet you're responsible for C through F. Yeah. Kind of tell us about your duties and what people get confused about your role.
There's some confusion from time to time, but it's fine and understandable because a lot of cities have different roles for the mayor. We have a strong city manager form of government, and so our city manager runs the day-to-day business. My role is more I oversee city council meetings, obviously, things like this, communication with the media, kind of a coordinator at times, a dispatcher at times if I get a call, knowing how the different roles in our city staff work. If someone calls me with an issue, which is fine, or any city council person, we generally just direct them to the right staff person to call or email. And then I have kind of a liaison as well with state government and our U.S. government.
And then how closely do you collaborate with the city council on different issues?
We collaborate really good. Right now we've got a great city council. We all get along and respect each other and respect our professional differences in our opinions. And we know that we're each just one of 5 votes. And we discuss everything at our city council meetings, and it goes pretty well.
Now, for those who may not know, what is your everyday job?
I run a small business. I own a fencing company, so I install fences and gates all days. and then of course I do this on the side. So being the mayor of a city like Alpena, you can kind of choose how much of an active role you want to have. There's a lot of meetings and calls and emails. Sometimes I overdo it and I overstretch a little bit more than I'd like to, but then there's other times where I might go days without really doing anything governmental related. So.
Well, it seems like you enjoy the job.
I really do. Yeah, we've got a great staff and a great community, and even when I get calls sometimes that really have almost nothing to do with city government, it's still not an issue to me. I like pointing people in the right direction, getting things done.
Well, perfect. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining us and having us here at City Hall.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you all on the next Monday with the Mayor. Welcome back. Joining me this morning is Stephanie Gandula from NOAA. Thank you for waking up with us on this Friday Eve.
Good morning. How are you today, Tiffany?
Good. So we're talking about shipwrecks this morning, in particular the Monohanset. So tell us a little bit about this particular shipwreck.
Yes, the Monohanset is a great example of the shipping industry and our rich maritime history here in the Great Lakes. So think to a cold November night, November 23rd, 1907, and the Monohanset and its captain and crew are hiding behind just south of Thunder Bay Island to avoid the terrible winds on a terrible stormy night. And they're doing okay, but about 10 o'clock, they're anchored there, and about 10 o'clock, one of the crew reports a lantern has fallen over in the engine room. So the Monohanset's a wooden vessel, happened to be carrying a cargo of coal, so you can guess what happened. It started to burn. Luckily, the life-saving station crew that was on Thunder Bay Island rowed out, so middle of the night, rowed out to rescue the entire crew. So no lives lost, but the Monohanset did indeed burn and sink right there just off of Thunder Bay Island.
Wow, a lot of history. So what are some of the most common reasons that we even have shipwrecks?
Yes, that's a great question. That's one of the first things people ask when they come into the Heritage Center or go on the glass bottom boat. Why so many shipwrecks? Because we do have almost 100 identified, and we expect there's that many more. So weather, just like the Monahans, that was a combination of weather and human error, of course. But weather is a big one. The area is known for huge waves, terrible, terrible winds, and dense fog. So all of the weather can definitely bring down ships. Collisions is another one that surprises some folks, because you look out there and you might see a lone freighter working the lakes, but over 100 years ago, schooners and steamers, you would see dozens and dozens of vessels out there working up the lakes and down the lakes, and there would be collisions. And many of the shipwrecks out in what we call Shipwreck Alley, or that shipping lane just outside Thunder Bay, were collisions. And so you'll find shipwrecks with gaping holes in them, evidence of that collision. And then groundings. So people can, captains and crew could go off track, lose their course, lose their bearings, and then run aground on jagged rocks. And we have many shipwrecks that are still, quite shallow and accessible because they simply were grounded. So lots of reasons.
Okay, all right. So quickly, if you can, how do these shipwrecks affect our waterways?
Great question. So today there's no real negative effects to having the shipwrecks in the water. None of them really that we know of have oil on them that are leaking. Anything, machinery has been salvaged. So they're pretty benign to the water environment. If they were, historically in the way of navigation, they would, dismantle the wreck. They would maybe dynamite it so it was out of the way. So they really just offer a way for us to see what life was like over 100 years ago in what we call the shipwreck century.
All right, and then my last question, people who can't, scuba dive or get in the water, what's the best way that they can learn about shipwrecks like the Monahans?
What's wonderful is there's lots and lots of options. The easiest is to just hop on your phone, on your device right now, and go to thunderbay.noaa.gov. Check out our website where we have dozens of shipwreck stories, and in addition to imagery and video about these shipwrecks. So virtual experiences where you can dive in. Of course you can, if you don't scuba dive, you can hop on the glass bottom boat and go out and see shipwrecks, particularly the Monahans, which the glass bottom boat does visit most trips.
Perfect. Well, again, it's always a pleasure to have you here every Thursday. You've been here this is the second Thursday.
Right.
We've been hitting that time pretty well. Welcome back. Joining me this morning is Mr. Phil Hartmeyer. He is a maritime archaeologist at the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Welcome, Phil.
Good morning.
So there is a virtual presentation that is coming up, and it is titled Shipwreck Alley. Tell us a little bit about that. We're going to put it on.
We're going to mask up this summer because we want to get people out in the water.
Let's see
we
how
want to
this
get
looks.
people out in the water, and we're going to get you out in the water this summer, and the whole crew here soon. So we're encouraging people to wear masks all summer, but then do so underwater with us.
Nice. Oh, I got to
yeah.
cover my nose. Okay, there we go. How do I look?
It's time to go diving. So.
All right. Well, I want to thank you again for joining us.
Oh, no, we're excited for this.
You all can definitely catch the Morning in the Sanctuary segments here every other Thursday right here on the morning show on WBKB. So thanks again, Jeff.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep this on, but for the full report on today's weather, we're going to check in with meteorologist Ellie Morrison.